Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmuttcoins.com to avoid the packs, save some racks. Link is in the description below. Use code CC now for 20% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? Normally we're like up and sitting up, and this is how I'm sitting back in the chair. We're relaxing. Let's talk. It's time to talk, okay? So EA had initially tweeted this screenshot out, teasing Brian Finneran, right? Looks like a pretty bad card. 88 speed. Now, Finneran was not the fastest guy in the world, and I'm not advocating for him to have 94 or 95 speed, something like that, but just a little more. These cards need to be usable, right? This is a promo about some of the best cards, and you when you have a promo about the best cards, you can't make them bad, right? That's just the way it is. Again, we are playing Madden Ultimate Team, not Madden Mediocre Team. Keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. So, it's not even that I'm a Falcons fan with this card. It's just that after, like, I kind of gave it a pass last week because I was like, okay, Gates, fine. Barr is just not usable. But then this was like, really? But EA then deleted the tweet. There was a lot of outroar, started by me. But they didn't tweet this back out. They did not tweet this back out tonight. So that makes me think that there's a chance. There's a chance that this card is going to be updated. It's going to have different stats when it comes out tomorrow. One of the good things is that when EA does teasers, we get to react to them. And since it's not in the game yet, the stats or the attributes on the cards can't change. Once they're in the game, the EA is like never going to change them, right? So there's a chance. Now, how fast should he be? I mean, I think to me the sweet spot is 91 speed. I think that's a pretty good spot for him, but I'll see why that's probably not the sweet spot for him. After all, I was comparing him to Carmichael, who's 90 speed at 92 overall. I figured, okay, +1 speed, but well, they tweeted out a different teaser. Again, they did something totally different here. Let me find it on here. There's a lot of notifications right now. Champ Bailey, okay, that's who they tweeted out second, right here. Now, Champ Bailey is actually really fast, and he only has a 91 speed. And that feels slow for Champ. And normally this is another card I'd be like, hey, that speed is just not right. But I'm okay with it because we don't really need these blazing speed corners in the game when there's only like one blazing speed receiver or two technically. So I'm actually okay with this. It keeps the game a little more playable. The rest of his stat, I mean, he looks good. He doesn't look like the best corner in the game necessarily, but he does look very good. I have no problem with the card whatsoever. Will we add it? I don't know. Let me go. Let's pull up the lineup. So let's think of 91, 91, 90. So if we look at some of these cards that have come out recently, you're looking at is basically the same speed as Antonio Cromartie, who's been out a while, which is fair. He's slightly slower than DRC. Again, that's fine. He's slower than Dion, which I don't know how much slower he was than Dion. So from a speed perspective, he's essentially Devin McCourty. This is what they're saying. Actually, a little slower than Devin McCourty, and we know that's not quite true. Nonetheless, the card's fine. I mean, they mess up the speed on a lot of cards, honestly. As we go throughout the years, like Troy Polamalu was really fast in real life, and they don't ever really give him a lot of speed. It's just weird like that, you know. Not all the cards are going to be true to life, and I know we have to balance the game out, and I'm okay with that. But I do think that there comes a time within the game where we are getting cards in a promo that are talked about as this is the best cards in Madden. Woohoo! Best cards in Madden history. They need to be very usable when they come out in the game. That's just my opinion. You can disagree with it if you want, but that's the way I think. And if that means a little bit of fakeness going into the stats of the cards, I think that's fine. As long as it's not overly one way, crazy, you know? So like, while I thought Finneran should be 91 speed, if Champ Bailey's 91 speed, then Brian Finneran shouldn't be 91 speed. And that's fine, right? That's totally fine. In no world are they ever near each other. Champ Bailey is 5 yards ahead of him in 40-yard dash. Probably, if they ran it next to each other. But I just want usable cards. It's not a, oh, you're always complaining or oh, you're always upset. No, it's that as the game progresses, I do want usable cards. I want cards that are going to be fun to use, different cards. I don't just want to be waiting on the typical fastest, the Tyreek Hill. Yes, we will all use Tyreek Hill, but in the meantime, while he's not the fastest guy, let me use some other guys. That's why I thought the Terry McLaurin was a really, really good choice, because how often are you really using a Terry, you know? So I really like that idea. I thought it worked out really well. Same thing with some of these other guys in the game. You know, I wouldn't have used a Devin McCourty before, but here we are. You know, here we are. We've been missing DRC in them, you know. Denzel Ward always has a bit of a shelf life on his cards, but when they come out, they're normally pretty good. I like that. You know, the idea of having the Taylor Mays and the Jamal Adams of the world. I think that sometimes cards need to be a little bit slower and sometimes cards need to be a little bit faster. And I think this is a time where these both probably should have been a little bit faster. I think Champ probably should have been 92 speed. Would have been my guess. But it's okay, you know. Like I said, if it helps keep the competitive balance in the game, I'm cool with it. But I do like that, and I do want to be able to use some of these different names in the game as opposed to our stalwarts that we've used in the game constantly. I think that's sometimes what Team of the Week brings forward, is when some of these lesser named guys have really good games. I would really be interested in using them. You know, I think it's great that Josh Allen has a completely usable card. We've been using Vic for years, and this year I've gone from, I don't even know who used it at the beginning of the year. Was it Mahomes at the beginning of the year? I might have used Mahomes. Then to Rodgers, and then to I don't even know who, to Vic, then to Favre, then to Culpepper, to Allen. So we've used 5 or 6 different quarterbacks this year, and that is just not a thing that is normal in MUT. So I like the way some of this stuff has been done, and I want these cards that come out in the 50 in particular to be very usable. I felt like last week we kind of got the duds because they were part of the free pack. That's cool, whatever, fine. Sometimes getting a week off is a good thing. I know I saw W even tweet about it, that he thought this was a W week because he doesn't have to spend money. It's fair. I feel that way sometimes, and sometimes I'm okay with it, you know, especially we're in the low period between promos. We obviously have Blitz and Thanksgiving promo coming up really, really soon. Probably next week. Probably next week, right? Yeah, it's got to be next week to start, right? You think so? You would think so. Oh, maybe not, but I would think so. So I'm okay with some of the lull in the guards, but I just want the cards to be a little bit better, just to be a little more usable, give them a little more of a shelf life before we move on to these other speedsters, which are inevitably coming in the game. So that is my thoughts. I think they'll fix Finneran a little bit. Not to what I want, not to what anyone else would probably want, not to what a Moss level, but I hope they do. I'd kind of like them to fix Champ as well. But I mean, if they don't, you know what? He'll be on the theme team. He won't be on the regular team, but he'll be on the theme team. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. Peace.